go. It's 7:05 Thursday evening. Boogie with the Bull, Thursday Night Live is on a device near you. We're live on the Dave Glovin profile over here on Facebook. We are live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, both with live chats. So watch on both. Go over to one that you haven't been on in a while. If you're on YouTube and you see us, come in and watch us live on YouTube. And because you never know, after the election, we might not be on Facebook anymore. Oh, and it loaded up right on my profile. It's there. Geez, life is actually going pretty good for this one. What's new and exciting, Dr. Rhodes?
I heard some very disturbing information today, and it comes from a very reliable source. And it's backed up by other very reliable sources. And I don't know how you folks are going to look at this or how you're going to respond to it, but I'm going to say it anyways. I've, last several weeks, months maybe, have been leaning more towards the reality that we are not alone in this universe. And you almost have to believe it because, why would a creator create one planet out of billions of planets and only place life on one planet? There has to be somewhere other planets with some form of life. I don't know what it looks like or how it's created. It has to be something.
I believe in theory. I'm sorry I cut you off, but I believe in theory that you're right. Where I sort of disagree in theory is that as far as our solar system goes, the 8 or 9 planets that we have, the couple of moons that Earth has, I'm starting to believe that it's the other way and that God had put life on all of those planets, and one by one, they trashed them and had to leave. And they went to, they went through all of them except for Earth. And the only reason Earth is still here is my belief before, as I've said, that Earth is the dumping ground from all the other planets in our particular solar system. So they left. And maybe every once in a while now they come back to see if there's anyone worth rescuing in a mothership and taking back to where they are. But I couldn't.
So this individual and I were talking, and he gave me some information that I kind of already had in my head, but he presented me with evidence to suggest the reality of this. And if I can, I want to just quick share something here. This is just an image. It's not a video.
Okay.
It's nothing like that. Let me know if you can see it, okay?
Yeah. Hold on, I have to give you the camera.
Okay.
No, it's going to feedback. Here we go.
This is just a static image. So I knew that there was at some point flying saucers that flew and hovered over the White House. And here we definitely have evidence that was a factual event that did take place. And even here, so the newspapers, they have evidence, they have images, they have pictures, they have written content. So we know that is a factual occurrence. Look at this. I mean, it's all over the various newspapers about the flying saucers. Um, in July 1952, a wave of sightings centered around the Capitol, Washington, D.C. UFOs entered the restricted air corridor near the White House. Um, two UFOs were seen revolving around each other at 500 miles per hour before being met by a third one. Following several hundred feet below those created a V-shaped pattern. A fourth UFO joined the group, which then flew south at high speed. The U.S. Air Force stated they had no aircraft in the air at the time. Confirmed it was being detected by radar. For several minutes, he observed the cluster of. So these things are making a mockery out of the supposedly security that the White House is supposed to be protected by. And we went on to discuss more, and we started talking about the hurricane that hit our coast in North Carolina and so forth just a couple of days ago. And he indicated that the area that's been devastated in the ground is vast amount of precious minerals, one being lithium. And that Black Rock is already down there offering to buy up this land
Yep.
because of the lithium. And the suggestion or the evidence that was being presented indicate that the hurricane was a man-made event. And you can see in the radar screens the variations of the colors indicating radiation and so forth, that this hurricane was manipulated to hit a certain area of our continent, which it did. That's scary.
Yep.
If all that evidence about manipulation of weather to destroy an area of our country, and there's still over 12,000 missing people, all because BlackRock wants the lithium, that's unbelievable. I don't know what to say about that.
If BlackRock was going to take the lithium and use it for our benefit so that we're not buying it from China, or China's not, or they're not going to take it and sell it to China so China can continue making electric car batteries and then send $125,000 Teslas here to the United States that nobody can afford to buy, it's a bad thing. But with us is Jerry Michaels from the Saturday here on Facebook and on Wimkin, and I understand at some point, hopefully going back to Rumble. So, what do you have to say, Jerry?
Nothing. That's not true. I want to say hi to Randy and Dave. Thanks for inviting me on. Randy was, I guess, talking about aliens. Is that what that was? And then the hurricane being, for lack of a better way of putting it, man-made. I don't know.
He ended up on that, but he started on whether or not there is life on other galaxies.
Well, I think there's definitely a possibility of that.
We seem to be the only planet on our galaxy that has life, but I don't know if that is totally 100% true.
Well, there's two things that really are not explored. One is the ocean, and the other one is space. And apparently, the Nimitz, or the pilots and so forth, saw, we'll call them UFOs, literally unidentified flying objects. Diving into the ocean and then doing all kinds of weird aerobatics that we can't do at all in, say, an airplane or something like that. So I think there's way too much unexplained, and I think the government wants to tell us that there's no such thing. And first thing I think is that there's such a thing. I believe Roswell very well could have been an alien crash, simply because of what came out that day. from their guy in charge of communications, and then the next day completely denying it, and then showing us all a weather balloon, which, by the way, apparently was the excuse for the next 40 years. 'Cause every time somebody saw something, they said it was a weather balloon. I personally have never seen a weather balloon. I, I mean, floating around in the sky. So I don't know, but I believe it's a possibility, and I believe they're here already. If that is true, do I believe in lizard people? I don't know. I think that came from a movie that was actually a pretty good movie considering, but I don't know.
Well, Jerry, I assume it's because I've been doing a lot of Googling. I found that um, most recently, as I'm doing research for my ancestry business, as well as some, side, um, segues into the unknown, that my 4 browsers that I use all of a sudden is being inundated with, newspapers.com, LDS genealogy, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden UFOs, aliens, flying saucers, blah, blah, blah. So, they're obviously aware of what I've been doing research on. But what really scared me, but at the same time solidified some thoughts that I had, but was afraid to mention it, was Elon Musk. And I put a lot of merit in what this man is all about. Besides being the second wealthiest man in the world, he has businesses that are oriented around space travel and so forth. His desire to go to Mars soon. And I Googled that, and we can travel from here to Mars in like 30 days. I thought it was years. It was actually like 30 days. But he was being interviewed by this guy who asked him, "What are your thoughts about Sasquatch?" And he very intelligently and with authority and with information of accreditation said, yes, they are there. In fact, he said there are many clans of the Sasquatch, and there's a leadership involved and a government within inside the Sasquatch world, and that sometimes these clans fight each other, and they roll out into a more open area so where people like us can see them more readily. And there's actually a paramilitary force by the United States government whose only job is to contain these people, these Sasquatch creatures, into their area. He also was asked, well, what do you think about aliens and UFOs? He said, absolutely. He said, we have the knowledge, we have the evidence that there are in the oceans, there are spaceships that have crashed into the ocean, that there are underground cities, that they are all these alien ships flying around our world, that we are exchanging information, we're exchanging people. They want our people, we want their technology, la la la. And I thought to myself, damn. And he spoke with such authority as to be believable. And I'm thinking, if anyone is believable in these areas, he has to be one of them. Or am I just stupid?
You're not
Well,
stupid,
I don't think
Randy.
I don't think that's true. I don't think you're stupid. I think that people who say no way, Jose, no way that's true, no way Bigfoot's real, no way aliens, any of this stuff, I guess you would call as a blanket statement the supernatural. I think is a fool. You look around just on Earth, we find new species we had no idea were still alive, or we had no idea about to begin with, all the time. Now, I grant you, they're not Bigfoot, and they're usually bugs or a frog or some damn thing, but still, okay. And you're telling me we don't even know our planet. We certainly don't know space. We don't know the deepest forests, even though there's not too many forests in the world people are not at. But there are talk of Bigfoot from, oh my God, the Indians had all kinds of stories about a Bigfoot. And they called them all kinds of different things. Down here, they call them Sasquatch. Um, and they all have the same description. They stink. Really, they're huge, and they can, rip an oak tree out of the ground and stuff, and throw you about for a touchdown. And just huge mammals or whatever. I don't know, but I've never personally seen one. I would like to. I doubt there's any in the vicinity of where I live. Too many people, I would think, but and these idiots would be out here trying to shoot it. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I sincerely hope that we never find them if they are real, because man will just
Yeah,
ruin it. They'll have them in a
yeah.
zoo, something. I don't know. Shoot them. Have a season for them. I got to tell you, I think in nature there is a crap load of stuff that mankind should just leave the hell alone. And I don't know about the weather. Florida's been having hurricanes for hundreds and thousands of years, but if they're fucking with the weather, listen, stop it. The weather worked perfectly fine. It's just like the Everglades down here. The Everglades worked perfectly fine in this state until they started building mini malls in it, and that ruined it. Okay. Just leave shit alone. I think it's
You
called
know,
live and let live.
and especially, it's just like with Hawaii. Okay, I'm not sure whatever ever came out of Hawaii, but it seems like certain color roofs on the buildings were left alone, where others were totally burned up. And uh, the individual who I'm getting my information from said that our government has the ability to manipulate laser beams. There's a word for it. I forget what it was, but be able to from a satellite or from an airplane, be able to shoot lasers downward to start fires. And the whole idea with Hawaii was they wanted the land and the people didn't want to sell it. So I'm not sure whatever came out of that scenario. But in this one, where you have over 12,000 people missing, presumed dead, because BlackRock wanted the damn land for the lithium, that's criminal. But you know what? If our government is involved with it because they're Democrats, no one's going to jail for it.
Well, you know what, Randy? Nobody really believed in the beginning 9/11 had the government behind it. No one believed that Pearl Harbor could have possibly have the government behind it. But you know what? The more you learn now, John F. Kennedy, everybody believed it was one guy. All these major things in modern history, and not to mention the ones before that. Okay, nobody believed that they were. I was one of them. I did. I had a hard time believing the government would do that to, was it 3,800 people at 9/11. Pearl Harbor, we were attacked by the Japanese, not by the American government. John F. Kennedy was kind of a different story. I always kind of believed there was something behind that because of what everyone was saying on the ground. But, I don't know. There are people out there that believe a lot of stuff that, I don't know enough about, let's put it that way, but I can tell you this. If they're screwing with the weather, the only thing they can do is screw it up and hurt people. That's it. There is no reason to screw with the weather unless that's what you want to do and your ulterior motive is money. It's always about money.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I've always believed that, uh, and I'm in my and I hate to say it, but on my way out from this world, I am beginning to be more and more ashamed of being an American because of what our government is capable of doing and is doing. Um, we talk about um, the Muslims, and what they're doing to the towns and cities where they live. But at least the Muslims aren't manipulating the weather to kill off people and destroy entire towns because of a mineral inside the ground that someone with money wants. Um, it's just disgusting. And unfortunately, there's not a damn thing we can do about it. And if they got away with it now, if Hawaii was the first experiment in the manipulation of the weather to get to that land, and this is a follow up, that is just like the Democrats manipulating the election process, stealing it, winning it, getting their guy in. Now they know how to do it successfully. They're going to try and do it again, just like with this weather thing. Apparently, from what I was being told, there was a second hurricane behind
Yeah,
Helene
it
that
was.
was supposed to continue the path, but because the destruction of Helene was so dramatic that the people manipulating the weather decided to stop it and redirect it back out into the ocean.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know enough about this to say, but there's a lot of people that seem to. Me personally, I gotta tell you, I feel like I'm living in an old reality most of the time. I don't really get. I mean, I understand what's going on, but it's just like I don't get why it's going on. I really don't. Because listen, right is right, wrong is wrong, and they've blurred the lines on that so much. I just, I don't know. I guess I'm a dinosaur or something. I don't know, but I just don't. Um, I don't know. I go to town, and I hate being there around other people. I just would rather be by myself. I swear to fucking God, it's just, it's not a good. It's not good either. It's just like and all this stuff, and none of it's good. Not one damn thing of it is good. We have been taken over by the deep state. We've been taken over by people that don't even live in this country. We've been taken over by major corporations. We've been taken over by everyone, and we're just like slaves now. That's all we are. And there's people out there, especially young people, that are working 50, 60, 70 hours a week just to live indoors. They can't buy a house, so they got to rent. You know, it's insane. And I don't blame just the Democrats. I blame all of them. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican. I don't care who it is. I blame all of them because they've sold us the hell out for the last 100 years.
What was that last thing you said?
I said they've sold us out for the last 100 years,
Oh,
all the politicians, both sides of the story.
Yeah.
I don't care. I got no use for either side. And as a matter of fact, the more they're on TV and the more they're famous for their rhetoric, I dislike them more. I would rather not hear them speak and see them actually do good.
What do you think, Dave? You've been quiet.
I have been quiet. I've been trying to get out some shares and trying to get a link out to Michael Anthony.
Thanks for that,
I
Dave.
don't know.
We got like
I don't know
600
where
views or something the other night.
you
What was it?
you got about you had when we went off, you had just over 300, 305, I think. Woke up this morning with
Hard to believe that many people want to listen to me. Okay. David Fowler is here. I haven't seen him in a long time. How you doing, David? Nice to see you.
You have a lot to say.
I
Believe
know
it or not, Jerry, you have a lot to say, and you speak with authority.
You do.
You know, well,
and lately
Yeah.
Facebook
Everywhere but my house.
Well, lately Facebook has been willing to let certain people who should have access to Facebook and get out. So I'm glad they're
I don't
helping
understand
you.
that either. Why, after all these years, right? You know, I used to be able to share our show, say, 5 times, and we'd get between 3,000 and 5,000 views. That was a long time ago, obviously. Long time.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they started getting less and less and less, and obviously shadow banning and whatever else they were doing. God help us. But yeah. So anyway, thanks. Appreciate it.
No, it's no problem. I'm glad that people are watching. I personally, I think it's just because they're going to be nice to me and you and Randy and others, Michael Anthony, that do this and let us go. And if Kamala Harris wins the election, we're all going to probably be the first ones to be executed live on Facebook, probably live on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast.
do I get an ice cream cone before I go?
Free ice cream from McDonald's.
I don't know. Joe may say no.
Actually, Randy, if you're coming to be executed with us, you got to bring the donuts.
Oh, okay.
Randy made a comment that he would.
Oh God, here he goes.
Jerry, that are like the best donuts in the entire world. That the donut he was talking about is probably that big.
No, I didn't say that.
He was gonna send. It was like the
I
Boston.
said that when I have some spare change, I'll send him a dozen donuts, or even I might even do cupcakes. There's a bakery here in Lancaster that went on a TV show, cupcakes something. It was a show.
Wars? Cupcake Wars on Food Channel.
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
And they came
a TV
second.
show.
Yeah.
That was a TV show, really?
It was a
About
TV
making
show,
cupcakes.
and the lady who pitched the idea to Food Network was Candace. God, I can't think of her last name.
Anyways,
but
they came in second.
And they ate it up. She owns the number one cupcake bakery in the country, I believe.
All right.
The cupcakes are really fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. So when I get
right.
like $20
I'm
to throw
all
away,
for cupcakes. I'm all for cupcakes. I'll be honest with you. Hey, Daryl's here. How you doing, Daryl?
Daryl's here, and I've invited Daryl, and I expect that Daryl will turn me down because I'll probably have a heart attack live and die if Daryl says he wants to join us tonight.
I don't know. Daryl's here. You know, why not?
He's here.
Daryl's a good guy. He's all right.
Daryl's a really good guy, but I know he's always busy.
Most
and
people are.
If you want to come on,
his job is he's got like I think it's calmed down, but they're always calling him, or he's got to work late, or he just, there's always something. And
Yep.
then he's got a personal life. He's got his he does that virtual racing shit, and he's apparently
Yeah,
very good at it. And
very
so
good.
that, and he's like, they got sponsors and all kinds of crazy. It's like chair he sits in. It's like
Believe
$5,000 or
that.
something. I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't
But
believe that.
they
Real
used to call him
companies are paid.
his office chair racing. Making fun of him. But he actually, if he put his, apparently, if he put all his, efforts into it, he probably could do pretty good. I don't know. But he's, like I said, he's got a job, and he's he's always doing something. That guy, he's always doing something. So
Well, Daryl, you got the link, and you're more than welcome to join us if you want to. And and if you don't, I know eventually you will. And then, like I said, I'll probably have a heart attack and pass away live on Boogie with the Bull on Facebook because
well, there
Daryl
you go.
Rector joined. He's been
There you
on
go.
before, I believe.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
on
So
before.
him, Nick. Oh, there's a lot of people been on. Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
no, I'll talk to you later about that. You just said a name, and I'll talk to you about it later. I don't want.
Okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm over all of it. I'm not mad anymore, and I just, you know what? I'm living my fucking life the way I see fit,
I,
and that's the only way I know how to do it. So,
I know.
and I think, what I realized is a long time ago, but I see it more and more every day. We're all like trained to believe things, and I'm starting to ask myself why a lot. I mean, a lot. Like, why is it so important to have a fucking driver's license? Whoa, so that you know the rules of the road. Nobody follows the rules of the road. You go out and drive somewhere. Who the hell follows the rules of the road? I lived in South Florida. That thing that's on your steering column that you push up and down to tell people where you're going, and nobody uses them. Nobody.
Nope. Nobody.
Okay, you know, and the cops are as corrupt as the governments they serve, and
Yep.
people call them tax collectors instead because they are collecting funds for the city or the state that they live in. And that is ultimately that is true because federal government pays a lot of these cities for DUI arrests and so forth. I realized when I was in DUI school how very little the state of Florida actually gave a damn about DUIs and people who were drinking and driving, but they did care about the money it brought in because it was a bucket
Yeah.
load, and
Yeah.
it's, I don't know. I just keep asking why and why. Dixie Rose of Texas. Now, there's a cool name.
Dixie Rose Lee of Texas, and she's going to kill me because I can't remember her husband's name. They are independent truckers.
Ah,
And the
okay.
guys, they're on our side. They were
Good
in
to know.
Texas. I'm not sure still in Texas, and they live stream all the time on the way to different events that his routes take him through when
Huh,
he's trucking. Yeah,
huh,
and
okay.
yeah. So
There was a time I wanted to be a truck driver. I actually kind of wish I would have done that. Just to, I'm one of them guys. I always want to see what's on the other side of the hill. And that would have been a great way to do that. I realized a while back, isn't it great our country can tell us who to hate? Yes, yeah, you're right, David.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I hate the Muslims, and I have no use for them because of what they did. Regardless of whether the government was involved or not, they did this, and they've killed so many for so many thousands of years. I think they all need to be dead. But why we're constantly involved in somebody else's business, and for what? And then they tell us, like Iraq, we ruined that country. We took out Saddam Hussein, who not a good guy by any stretch. However, he kept the place relatively calm. Same with the Muammar Gaddafi, and we let them murder him in the street. Why? Why are we doing this? And how long have we been doing this? I mean, I can understand World War II. I sort of understand World War One. But the wars since then we've had, I don't really get.
But is it both sides, Democrats and Republicans, have been doing this to us? I mean, that's what I'm starting to realize. It's, I call myself a conservative Republican or a conservative patriot, but just as much as I read there are bad guys on the other side that shouldn't be in there, there's bad guys on our side that shouldn't be in there.
We have people in our own movement that we should throw out immediately. Okay. Yeah. Candace Owens is one of them. There is one country in the Middle East. Now, whatever you think of Jews, you think of Jews. But here's what I'm going to tell you. There's one country in the Middle East that we should be helping defend and not giving them a line of shit about them defending themselves. They didn't ask us for help other than obviously weapons and probably money, I guess. I don't know, but definitely weapons. Okay, I get that. But, Israel has given the world many, many things that were good. And who they're fighting has never given the world a damn thing but grief and death and blood. Okay, so for that alone, people should shut the fuck up. Why everybody out there is blaming the Jews for everything is beyond my realm of understanding. Yes, there's a lot of people that are Jewish that are rich. Okay, fine, whatever. You know what? More power to them. We bitch and moan that we live in a capitalist society and are trying to take that away, but as soon as somebody gets rich, we hate them. What's wrong with you? Okay. And then, Vietnam. Why were we there? The French just got their asses kicked after years of war in Vietnam, and then America goes in there. And we started not fighting wars. We started fighting the political wars, and you can't win political wars. Why? Because you're too busy trying to win hearts and minds and, not taking ground and then giving it back. And then at the end, everybody jumps all over rebuilding the country, making millions upon millions of dollars. And who pays for most of that? Us, because our government does. And they're getting the money from us.
I had a really strange thought as you were talking about Vietnam, Jerry. Please tell me I'm wrong, but I guess we didn't have women in the Army back then, but were our men, our boys, our men, were they there to be human test animals for Agent Orange? Because I would jump out of my skin and
I don't think that.
And blow up
I don't know. I don't think that. I don't think that, but what I do think is that they knew that this could. Let's put it this way: if the government didn't know while they were using it and dumping it on everybody, okay, but they knew within a few years after they did it exactly what it was doing to these guys and their offspring. Okay, I mean, and fought tooth and nail not to do the right thing. I can tell you a more modern one with the water at Camp Lejeune. I was there. Take my word for it. Every general, every visiting dignitary, every politician who ever went there, everybody who was ever stationed there or worked there as a civilian knew that water was bad. There was no way you could drink that water and not know that there was something wrong with that water. And for 50 some odd years, they did nothing but lie on water quality reports and all kinds of shit. And then they finally give away all this money to these guys after thousands of people have died of horrific diseases. from this.
Jerry,
And
did
the
the
goddamn
officer?
lawyers get 40%.
Yep.
The lawyers, 40%.
Okay. I found this on the web for Did the Officers.
Jerry, did the officers also drink from the same water source, or do they know that the water was bad and they drank from a different water source?
I only knew one guy, my staff sergeant, a platoon sergeant, who wouldn't drink the water. He went all day without drinking. Everyone else drank in it, bathed in it, and ate food from it. Because we were all in the barracks. There was nothing else to drink. It wasn't like now you throw a rock, you hit a bottled water somewhere, okay? Or you see, back then it was Perrier, and nobody liked Perrier. Even the people who drank Perrier didn't like Perrier. Okay, it was just a status thing. Oh, look at me! I'm drinking crappy water in a glass jar. Okay, but they all knew. Everybody knew. There was a water fountain in every single squad bay, and they all knew.
That's
Nuts.
just nuts.
It is just crazy nuts.
My dad
But
spent 2 tours in
Go
Vietnam.
ahead.
I'm not sure exactly where he has. I have a lot of his pictures from when he was in Vietnam, but he was with the Air Force, so he wasn't seeing any kind of real combat. But as I understand it, the Agent Orange was designed to defoliate the jungles because the men were having problems finding the Viet Cong hidden within the trees and the bushes and the shrubs
Right.
and shit. So the Agent
Right.
Orange is supposed to kill off all the vegetation. Well, damn it!
It
If
did.
it kills off the vegetation, what's it going to do to the guys it falls on top of?
Exactly. Well,
I
look
mean,
at
it's
what's
kind
that
of
stuff
a
you
no-brainer.
what's that crap you spray on weeds now? Roundup, right? There's
Yeah.
a major class action suit against them for the same damn thing. My question is this: all this crap they spray on the crops and all this stuff, well, it's for bugs and whatever disease and blah blah blah. Okay, what did they do in the 1700s or the 1600s and so forth,
Exactly.
farmers, when we first got here? Because there were bugs.
Exactly.
Now there probably wasn't the same bug. There may be more bugs now because a lot of them came over on ships and stuff, but still there were bugs, okay, and there was blight and there was drought and all kind. What did they do then?
Yeah.
Dump more
Okay.
Roundup on it.
We can't do now. They sure as hell didn't go to the little frickin' feed store and buy the biggest jug of frickin' poison and put it on their crops. They knew things. And that we don't, and I swear to God, this is a farming community around here. You bring that shit up when the crop dusters go over, oh my God, the farmers go nuts. Well, we're feeding the country because everybody now as a farmer thinks they're a fucking hero. You're really not. You're nothing but a subsidy now because you've all taken the subsidies and you're on the hook for the government, and the government tells you what to do because you're on a financial tether. I let the weeds grow, David, because you want to know what? They don't bother me. My whole place is, I got some grass, but most of it's weeds. They grow 4 or 5 foot tall. I'm good. I don't care.
Probably keeps
You
the
live in a
neighbor.
suburb, you can't do that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do that, though, if you live like in a city or around in a town or what. You can't do that. I get to,
Probably
and
make
I just
it-
leave it. And once a year, I'll cut it down.
Yeah.
Cut the whole place.
You know,
And
I
that's it.
never, I never knew that come spring when everything starts growing, that the first roots, the first growth of dandelions is actually good eating. People put that stuff on salads.
Yeah, dandelion greens. People like it.
Yeah, some people do. Yeah, I've never actually had them, and I'm almost positive I'm never going to. But I heard that.
I'm not a big salad eater.
Oh my God, I love salads.
No. No.
All right,
No.
let's get something. Dave, let's do something. Okay, yeah, I don't. Whoever you want to have on, you have on. You don't have to ask me. And I don't. I'm good. I'm good. And I promise I'll be nice. And if he's
Okay.
watching, he's watching. I have. I don't. I don't. I'm good.
I
I'm perfectly good.
I got a message.
What?
Come
Oh,
on. I sent him the link. I don't know if he got the link. I emailed him the link. I don't know. He got the email.
yeah.
The only way
So
I could get him on the other day was Randy sent him the link, and he got the link, and he came on. And this is where
Hey.
if you ask to come on, or even if you ask one of the other guests, or well, they're not guests, they're co-hosts. You ask one of the hosts if you can come on,
Sure.
and they ask me, I'm going to send you the link. But if I send you
Here's
the
the
link,
deal.
don't not come on.
okay,
Here's
well,
the
the
deal.
person you're talking about, is getting ready to go and do a live broadcast of his own.
All right. Well, I'm sorry that he. I'm sorry.
I am
But
not mad
I
at
post-
anyone anymore, Dave. I'm not getting mad at anybody anymore. There are people I will not be on with, and
Right.
I'll let you know if that happens. But otherwise, I will leave, not them.
Right. No,
This is not. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not getting that upset about
I'm trying not to do it
any of this.
anymore either. There's just way.
Everybody gets to
there's just
say
way
what they want. Everybody gets to believe what they want. Everybody gets to do what they want. And
drama,
sometimes
and I
we
can't
forget
do it.
that. And I'm one of these people that I forgot it. And I got pissed off a lot. And that's one of the reasons I quit for a while, because I was too mad
Right.
about everything.
Right.
And it's just not good.
So,
So,
and I
whatever he
Right.
wants to do is up to him
understand,
and you.
and I get very upset when someone asks for a link to come on, and unless there's
Well,
technical issues, something that they couldn't get on, then I understand. But there's 251 people watching right now, and they want to know what everybody on Facebook has to say, and that's why I do this stupid thing. But it's not stupid for me. I love
that's fine.
this.
But, you never, the thing is, here's what I keep having to remember is I don't know what that person is going through. I know what I'm going through, and that's all. And sometimes I let that get in the way of other people, especially on here. It's too easy because in real life, actually, I'm the exact same way. I'd probably get punched in the face now because I'm old. But you got. It's not worth it. It's not
It isn't.
because people
It is.
expect. There was a time when I did videos, people expected me to be screaming into the camera for their entertainment. And I stopped screaming into the camera all the time just for that reason. Because I'm not entertainment. I'm just a freaking fat, bald guy who
Right.
some shit, basically. And hopefully I've learned a lot of things from a lot of different people. The whole conspiracy thing, like what Randy was talking about with Bigfoot and all this stuff. Michael Anthony is one of the people I learned it from.
Yep. Yep.
That and more. I don't even remember why the hell we were mad at each other now. I'll be truthful. And I have no interest in being mad at anybody. I
Right.
got
And
enough problems of my own.
I
I
said,
just got to concentrate on them.
Yep. I mean, it's
Anyway,
just
that's it.
what life is too short. We're 30 days away from an election that is either going to save this place that we're
Holy
at.
crap! It is 30 days.
It is. It's 30 days from tomorrow, and if we don't pull our heads out of our rectums and do things that we need to do on our side, we don't have to worry about that the other side still has their head up their rectums. There's just, the only safe place to hide is probably going to be to put your head up your rectum. Unless you're Tim Walz, then it's going to be to put a tampon in your mouth. I posted that several times today, and I said it. I didn't say it on your broadcast last night, but I did say it on mine yesterday morning with Randy. I think that I heard that Tim Walz, after the debate, has been contacted by all the tampon manufacturers in the United States of America because they're slowly going to introduce a Joe Biden-approved mouth tampon. You know, there's not going to be a mask mandate. It's going to be that new designer tampon. And it's a sad thing to say. It's not a nice thing to talk about. But you know,
Well, no, I don't know what that was all about because I didn't read about that and I didn't watch that stupid debate anyway. But you know what? The guy is an idiot. He should probably just shut the fuck up. I don't know. It just seems like that would be a good idea. And
he's
here's the
starting to
sad
go.
part. Kamala will always
Go
be
ahead.
known as the first black woman to ever run for president. It's all a fucking lie. And
But
within 10 minutes after the election, if they lose, everyone forget who Waltz is.
good. Except for
Yeah, I
Robert
have to
Lawless,
agree
the
with that.
Minnesota admin, who can tell us more things
Well, yeah,
about
yeah.
him. But don't the M word, you don't like to say the M word, but don't the M words have a very large compound or training base somewhere in Minnesota where they actually train people to do
There's
bad
supposed
things?
to
And
be
our
some in
government knows
Florida.
about it. It's been here
Supposed
for
to
a
be
very
some in
well. I didn't know
Florida.
about the one in Florida. I didn't know that. I know the one in
Um,
Minnesota has been there for an absolute long time. It's like they own the town,
yeah,
literally.
they're called mosques, Dave. Every mosque. To be truthful, I've never really seen a mosque before. In real
Yeah,
life, I mean. But every mosque is a training center for terrorists.
yeah,
If we raided the mosques like we raid the wrong house on drug dealers or innocent people, okay, we would be amazed at what we would find in these mosques. And it's oh well, there you go. Okay, yeah, it's amazing, really. I've heard they're in Florida.
yeah.
Minnesota, I think, has the highest population in the Twin Cities of Muslims than anywhere else in the country. But I would imagine that yes, they probably do have places where they train for such things. Why not? No one's doing anything to them to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like you and others say. We're letting them in, and they're not coming here for the American dream. Well, their American dream is to make sure no one
Yeah.
ever gets the American dream again. But they're not coming here for the American dream.
No.
Because as soon as they realize, as soon as the money stops coming, I mean, if Trump gets reelected and all that giveaway crap that they get stops, what are they going to do? Cause a civil war? Or are they all just going to get their trucks and go home? Well, Trump says he's going to send them home, but I don't know.
Yeah. You know what the problem is? If Trump gets reelected, there's going to be wars in the streets. The so-called mostly peaceful protests, cities are going to burn. And what the Muslims want, the same thing that everyone else in the deep state wants, and they want chaos.
Yeah.
Because chaos, they can work more actively with chaos than anything else. What surprises me the most about Biden's term is that there have been no terrorist attacks from them.
Yeah.
The weakest president we have ever had, and no terrorist attacks. So I don't know.
Well, they're waiting to see what happens come November. You watch. If for some miracle that Trump gets elected, all hell is going to break loose in the cities, and that's what those
I agree.
illegals are for.
Yep. Yep. Hang on just a sec. I got to step up.
Because as soon as they hear that they got to leave or they think they got to leave, they're going to be out there screaming about how they make our economy so much better and, burning down a city, LA, New York, wherever. And the politicians are going to allow it just like they have every other time. And if, we blame the cops. They take an oath, yeah, and they take an oath for a lot of things. When they pull you over a speeding ticket, they take your rights away. But when you
most
are
of them
employed by the city of say, I don't know what, LA, and the mayor says stand down and the police chief says stand down, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Is it right? No, it's not right. It's not right for 10 cops to be standing there and watch some guy get beat up by Antifa and almost killed. It's not right.
Nope.
But that's how it is.
And unfortunately, the cop has a decision to make. Either he breaks protocol and breaks the rules and goes and helps the person, and then probably gets wind up getting fired.
Yep.
Or does he stand there and watch the situation, play out, and he keeps his job and his paycheck?
Well, for a while they were burning cities like Seattle, Portland, all of those major cities that they were burning, police officers would drive to, because most police cruisers are GPS tracked, so they know where you are. You can't lie, but they would pull up, they would sit, they would tell the dispatcher they're there, 2 minutes, say they didn't see anything, and leave. Why? Because they weren't going to get out of the car and get the hell beat out of them, or get their car set on fire while they were in them.
Well, one of the problems too is if they, like Randy just said, they'll get fired, but they'll also get prosecuted if they raise a hand or, they got to put somebody down on the ground because they're violent. There's one thing about a cop who grabs you, starts screaming, stop resisting when you're not, and then slams you on the ground. It's another thing if somebody's being violent and needs to be thrown on the ground. I don't think anybody has a problem with that. That I know of anyway. But if he did that, then he's not only going to be fired, lose his paycheck, lose his livelihood, he's also going to end up in court and will be ruined because in order to defend himself, he's got to sell his house or whatever he's got to do and then you're never going to be a cop again. So that's over. Look at that guy in, what was it, Ferguson? That guy could never be a cop again. All right. That I know of. As a matter of fact, who the hell knows where is that guy? Where is he at to where he's trying to live a normal life?
Can he live a normal life after that?
I don't know. I hope I never have to find out. Let's put it that way, because what he did was absolutely correct. He did nothing wrong. He was prosecuted when he was forced to be prosecuted, because originally the prosecutor didn't want to charge him because he didn't do anything wrong. And then he was forced to, went through the whole trial, but found not guilty, which means nothing at that point. And then, Ferguson burned down that night. And, who got burned out? Black businesses, people that were, helping the city at least bring in revenue, stuff like that, tax dollars. But they burned down basically their own people. And tell me how that makes it better. Somebody explain that to me, because I don't see where it's happening.
And I remember seeing videos of people standing out in front of businesses as they're being looted and burned, and they're screaming, I'm black. This is my business. What are you doing?"
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. I remember. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Was that couple here in Florida? The lady had a pistol in her hand, and the guy had a rifle in his hand, and they were just
that was in St. Louis. That was St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, they got out of it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think that prosecutor is no longer in office. Something with this the head lawyer in the state, what attorney general of the state or something. I don't know, but first of all, the guy looked okay. The woman looked fucking ridiculous holding the pistol. Somebody should teach her how to look, because there's a cool way to look and there's a really ridiculous way to look, and she hit it on ridiculous, But nevertheless, they're scared. These people are breaking into their neighborhood. I gotta tell you the truth. That shit was in my neighborhood. I'd be doing the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And if I understand correctly, too, that the people were, there's the left was saying that they had no right because they weren't on their property, but as it turns out, they were walking. They opened up the gate and was walking down the path to the side of their house. And was actually starting to come inside the house because there's pictures of them inside their home, looking, walking through and so forth. So they did get inside their house.
Oh, okay, that I didn't know.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Actually, I knew that they had like broke in or something, to the actual. There was a gated deal, and they somehow broke in. But, yeah, this is the problem with entitled people. What color you are? If you're an entitled person who thinks somebody owes you something, screw you. I don't know. There's no evidence to the fact, but I busted my ass my entire adult life, just like everybody else. It's no different. Okay, so what I have, I earned, and you're not taking that from me. People always say, well, it's just stuff. You can replace stuff. Well, you know what? You may not be able to replace me, but I'm not going down without a fight if you're going to steal from me or you're going to try to take from me. Because I'm sorry, that's my shit. Get out of here.
Right.
It's not just the fact that it can be replaced. Depending on what it is, it has memory attachments to it, especially if it's something that was handed down to you from your family, from your mom or dad, your grandparents.
You shouldn't have to replace it.
Yeah, not to mention also some stuff's expensive as hell to replace. Okay, they steal pools or whatever they steal, and how come somebody's robbing you and you're fighting them off? The cops are telling you that was stupid. It's like, fuck you. By the way, where the hell were you when I called? It's like I have been told. Some guy, I've had people try to screw with me, and well, why don't you move? Well, if I could afford to move, I'd do that, dumbass. But I can't, and I'm not the freaking criminal. So why don't you go arrest him?
Right.
Now, why should I move? Because the criminal.
Yeah. Why should you?
Exactly.
Why should we have to?
I lived right behind a college, a community college, and there was a drug corridor basically through the college that would run into our neighborhood constantly. I went and talked to the police at the college. He yelled at me and told me to get the hell out of his office. I went and talked to the police of the town, Coconut Creek, Florida, and they told me there's nothing we can do. And then I went and talked to my representative in the city council, and she acted like I was stupid. And I said, all you have to do is lock the gates. You leave them open 24/7 and all kinds of crap is happening. Well, how do you know this? I said, because I live over there and I see it. Well, a lot of that's coming from over there. No, it's coming from here. And you're just looking at these people and, that whole, if you see something, say something, you realize it's completely useless.
Yeah.
Completely useless. So it's like, okay, whatever.
If you see something, leave a message. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you, these people,
we'll take a call in the order it was received.
Yeah, these people, it's like You're always out there talking about the evils of drugs, and you're always out there talking about the evils of drug dealing and, what that turns you into and all these things. And until you actually interact with these people, you realize they don't care. I had a drug dealer living in a building I was managing, and it took 3 months to get him raided. And I gave them all the evidence they needed to prove he was a drug dealer. I gave them license plate numbers of all his fucking customers because I would go out there and take their plate number down. Okay. Because I was responsible for the people in the building that were not drug dealers and their safety. I remember one night some lady drove up to his door on a moped like it was a freaking drive-through. She went in. I went down, picked up the moped, put it under my arm, and literally when I got out to the parking lot, I put it down, picked it up with two hands, and threw it out into the edge of the parking lot. And it landed. And walked back in my place. And she never came back. It was great.
Yeah.
I remember my very first date with my wife, a girlfriend at the time. She became my wife. Very first date. I'm all dressed up, cologne, the whole 9 yards, and going to her house. She lives in a semi-detached house. She didn't tell me that the neighbor was one of the heads of the Hell's Angels, right? And that he had 2 attack dogs to protect him. So I pull up my car, get out of my car, walking up to her doorstep, and all of a sudden from around the house comes these 2 black Doberman pinchers ready to rip me apart, just waiting for the command to tear me apart. I froze where I stood, looking at the house. They're fucking in the house at the window looking out, petrified, right? And doing absolutely nothing to help me. And the guy's girlfriend comes running from the back of the house, trying to call off these damn dogs. Finally, she pulled them off one at a time. I got slobber all over my new suit, right? So I walk in the house, I sit down, thinking, what the fuck just happened? And they said, "Oh, we're sorry. We forgot to tell you that our neighbor was the head of the Hells Angels in the area." I thought, Jesus, God Almighty, thank you. But we kept dating, got married.
Good.
Very first, a very unusual way to get started, though. Let me tell you. His house eventually got raided by the FBI and the police and the state police, and they finally arrested his ass.
Okay.
I can
That's what I'm
remember
going to call
in
it. Nice
Florida
place.
when I was about 14, 15, and you would see good on 95, which is the main road all the way up the East Coast on the East Coast of Florida. And you would see 100, 150 Hells Angels going north and 100, 150 outlaws coming south. There's a wild time down here back in the day. And they were all, this was like the late 70s when the drug trade started really picking up down here into the 80s. And wow, it was wild. Let's see. Yeah, David. Dave's a good guy. You can go ahead. You got the same name. What else? Yeah. David.
Yeah.
Who, David?
We're on-
David. I've known David for years and years. I don't see nobody's posts no more. I'll be truthful. It's like everybody is. Like once I'll see Randy, and I'll even get alerts when he goes. Sometimes if he goes live, it's usually an hour later, but nevertheless. I see your stuff sometimes, but very few others. And I don't know if they've unfriended me or what the story is, some of them, but I used to see them all the time. And I don't really see anybody. I see Robert Lawless all the time, but he very rarely joins us anymore. So that's the way it goes. It's the way it goes.
It is, unfortunately. Maybe after Trump comes back and Facebook realizes we're all going to go over to True Social, then maybe they'll play nice with all of us. But
I'm not going to Truth Social.
oh, I
They don't
know.
have video.
But
If they don't have live video, I can't help them because I'm not like some people like you. You can write apparently because you write freaking 87 paragraphs every time you text me. I'm not like that. Um, I don't really write or type or whatever. I am like I'm on the phone with my wife. It's like I'll think of a sentence and use every third word, and she understands it because she lives with me. But I'm not big on that. I'm more of a get on here and just talk and talk too
yeah,
much and piss people off apparently. But I don't
that's
know.
fun.
I just
Why I do
well, I don't know. I don't know about fun, but it's just what I do. And if you don't
it. Yeah.
have live video, and I don't understand why they don't. I heard they were gonna
They
do
have it, but
Twitter or something. I don't.
no, they have it. They've activated it. It's right now they're just working on bringing the big boys and girls on, and then once they seem to get that straightened out, uh, they will. Their plan is to eventually bring it down to our league, but right now they're worried about. Right now they're bringing in, like I said, the big boys and girls because part of their live streaming is going to be an actual live streaming network that's going to feed TV. That includes some Christian programming because we're all going to become Christians, for lack of putting it any better. But,
Okay. Well, look forward to that. Uh, but I don't know. I never got into True Social. I mean, I have an account over there. I think American Rebellion has an account over there. I just don't know. I don't remember. I haven't been on there in a long time. If they get
I used to
live video, I'll go over there. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
I used to
I don't
link
give
it
a
from
shit.
YouTube every morning, but it
The way
got to be too
Wimpkin is
much.
going, got 48
Yeah.
views on Winkin last night. So what happened was I was on there and somebody said that God's got this, about the situation in the country. And I said, I'd rather have guns and bullets. Well, that insulted the crap out of this woman, who I got along with perfectly. We were always laughing and joking and making fun of each other. It was great. But she got pissed off and decided to say some things. So I was like, okay. And then another one who I got along with fine. All of a sudden, I said somebody asked why this was happening on Wimpkin. I said it's on Wimpkin's end, and she blew up and got all pissed off that I said something bad about Wimpkin, which it wasn't. Wimpkin has a few problems here and there. They're constantly being attacked with that DOS or DDL, whatever the hell it is. But and between the two of them, I have lost quite a few viewers.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. You got nothing better to do.
The way I look at it is this. I agree with you, Jerry. God, that hurts saying that. No. No, seriously, no.
You're just winning all kind of points tomorrow, Randy. I'm going to come to the American Rebellion tomorrow night. I'm going to bring a noose.
Yeah. So I agree with you because all my life I've been told God's in control. Go to church every Sunday. Go to Sunday school. Go to Wednesday's prayer meeting. God hears your prayers. Blah 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 blah. But what in the hell is it going to take for God to finally say, "People, you screwed up"? I accepted the fact when you kicked me out of your schools. I accept the fact when you kicked me out of your government. I accepted the fact when you did this and this and this. and the gays and the lesbians and the transgenderisms and so forth. But enough is enough. When is he going to actually finally say and do something to bring an end to all this madness? Oh, we're in the end times. We're in Revelation. The sky is turning purple, the moon's turning red, and we have the hurricanes and the tornadoes and the wars and the hurricanes. Okay, when? Well, you're not supposed to know when. That's only for God to know.
Right.
There seems to be a lot of
Maybe it's God.
convenient things said to to protect God, and I don't know if there's a God or not. Here's you guys believe what you want, I believe what I want, but I also believe that us as people have a free will,
Yeah.
and regardless of what the government's doing to us, we still have a free will. We can do something, and nobody's doing nothing. And the amount we're at least on here opening our mouth and saying what we believe and being honest about it. That's very important. Being honest about it.
Like I say, let us.
And that is a form of free will. It's also a form of freedom of speech, which is probably more important. Um, do I think we'll win a war with the government? I don't really think so. But I can tell you this: something we got to figure out. We got all these people that are going back 50 years to find out why we're here now. That's fine. It's good to learn from your past. There's no doubt about that. Okay. And
That's my business
see
you're
the
talking
path
about.
that, yeah. But at some point, we have to stop with the 50 years ago and start with the right now. What the hell are we going to do? Because by the time they figure out what to do, it's going to be it may already be too late. Because all I hear people
Yeah.
say, and I say it too, is we have to vote. We have to vote. We have to vote. But we did that last time, and look what happened. And we did it in 16, and there was proof that it worked because Trump became president. But once it was stolen from him. You kind of look at it. That's the first time in my life I realized that those people who said voting doesn't matter were not wrong. They were wrong in 16 because nobody expected Trump to win. But in 2020, they weren't wrong because
They had
of
4
all the things
years.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What's
They had
that?
4 years. They had 4 years to figure out how to take it back in 2020. And that's my biggest fear, that some screwed up bad people on their side had 4 years to make sure a Democrat, because I don't believe that they thought Joe Biden would be more than a one-term president. I figured he'd die in office or shortly thereafter. But my biggest fear is that they're ready to steal it again. They figured out the plan. They corrected the mistakes from last time. They're not just going to put tape up on the windows and tell Republicans to get out. They're going to do something worse.
No, you know they're going to do this time. They saw that last time we stood back and did absolutely nothing. So this time around, they're not going to bother putting the cardboard up on the windows. They don't care anymore. They're going to do it out there in the open, in our face, and they're going to steal it. They say, "What are you going to do about it? You going to go to war? Yeah, we got the nukes. You're going to attack us? We're going to steal it from you." They're not going to hide. They're not going to try and hide it this time. They're going to do it. And I have got to go. It's a long night. You guys take care. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks,
you guys
Vinny.
have fun now.
Take care of yourself.
I'm glad you came, Randy.
See you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, Randy. Make sure you're here tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, like you
I
said,
don't even
Dave,
think I've ever seen.
even if they do, they did such a horrible job with all the stuff that was so out in the open. to steal this. They stole it literally for 4 years before the actual day of the election,
Yeah.
with all the things that were happening in state legislatures or not happening in state legislatures that was supposed to happen. Okay. And all these things. And then, of course, the mail in voting and the COVID and all the stupid crap with that. They stole
Yeah.
this election before election day, and everybody knew it. So we said,
Yeah.
well, get out and vote. And Trump ended up with the most votes of any Republican president ever.
Yep.
Somehow Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama did, and he was in his basement the entire time, or had like 7 cars in front of him beeping their
Joe
horns
Biden
and shit.
got more votes than the total number of people who were registered to vote in the election.
Yeah,
I,
true story.
that-
So
it makes me laugh when I'm watching one of them and they say that. America, do you
yeah,
understand? Your president of the United States won by more people than that were even registered to vote.
yeah, exactly. So how
You
did
know,
that happen? Well, and now they've had 4 more years,
yeah,
and I'm not sure Randy's wrong, to be truthful. They're still not hiding it.
I'm,
They're still using
I'm,
Dominion machines. In some conservative state like Georgia, still using Dominion.
yeah.
And that's a
Georgia
conservative state.
said the
And
main
above
reason
all else,
they're still using Dominions is that evidently if they broke the contract with Dominion, there's like hundreds of millions of dollars they have to pay Dominion because they have to pay off. Say there's 2 years left on the contract and they owe $400 million. They have to pay that $400 million in order to break the contract. And that supposedly is why most states didn't break.
That's bullshit.
Well, I don't know what the amount is, but it's
No, I mean, I understand. I'm not saying you're bullshit. What you're saying
right,
is I'm
it's,
saying
yes,
that
but evidently
that's a lie
they
because
wrote that.
it's
They wrote
been
that into
proven
the
so
contract.
many fucking times. It's been proven so many times that they can hack those machines that they're not supposed to be able to hack. Their contract could be null and void tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it again. So,
Yeah.
the ballots showing up at 3:00 in the morning with one name marked off on them and all that other crap. So,
Coming out of
we're gonna
briefcases,
see.
backpacks, Walmart shopping bags,
Yeah. Yeah. True story.
I mean
So,
that should have been the dead giveaway,
Yeah.
A voting machine doesn't put ballots in a reusable Walmart bag or a Samsonite suitcase.
Nope.
I mean,
And when they were supposed to stop counting because of floods and fires and every other damn thing, they were still counting votes because they needed to know how much they needed to win, and they needed to catch up because Trump had gotten. And don't ever forget there were Republicans in on that crap
I'm sure there were
just as bad as
Romney,
Romney
and maybe
what's his name? Mitch.
Was still in it.
Mitch McConnell.
Is Mitch still actually holding his office, or has he actually resigned and stepped down? I know he said he wasn't running yet.
No, he wasn't. He's going to resign retire after his term is up.
Yeah.
So now, if they win the Senate somehow, maybe he might step down as Speaker. I have no idea. I just know you don't really hear from him as much as we used to. It used to be like 5 times a day you'd hear about Mitch McConnell. It's not like that now.
And who? That's the sad thing. We win the Senate. I mean, hopefully we keep the House and we win the Senate. I don't know if that's a possibility, but who in the Senate? Is there a Republican in the Senate that could handle being Senate Majority Leader?
Well, they keep telling me Lindsey Graham is being groomed for it for years now, so who knows? And he would be horrible. He'd be as bad as Mitch McConnell.
I hear people believe he's a rhino. I don't know enough about him really.
He's definitely a rhino. He talks a good game. He's a warmonger, and he's gay. And refuses to admit to it. So, I don't really care that he's gay. I just can't stand people hiding. I can't stand that bullshit. If you're gay, say I'm gay and move the hell on. You don't have to have a parade about it or anything like that, or some kind of fucking celebration for a month, anything like that. But stop lying,
Yep.
right? And he's good for some sound bites and whatever that thing that Dan Bongino says all the time.
Yeah.
But in the end, he's no better than Mitch McConnell or any of the or Mitt Romney or any of the other ones.
I'd like to meet Bongino one day. The one I really want to meet, I really would like to have an opportunity to meet Steve Bannon and sit with Steve Bannon.
Yeah, I'd rather meet him. I guess.
And
Dan
believe it or not,
Bongino.
if I ever had the opportunity to sit with Alex Jones, I would take it.
I wouldn't mind.
If I could ever get him on this show, I mean, there's always people that I say, I'd love to have him on because, believe it or not, I disagree that the Sandy Hook Parents Group, whatever, got all of that money from him.
First of all, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Because whether or not you agree with him or not, he's an American citizen. He's got the right to say it.
Exactly. And considering the crap they've said about Trump for the last 8 years, considering what they've said about Trump for the last fucking 8 years, and that nobody's doing anything to them. Okay. And they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have taken his livelihood. They shouldn't have sold off his livelihood. They shouldn't have kicked him off of social media. And I'm not an Alex Jones fan at all.
No.
I'm not. And Jesse Ventura is the same way. I mean, Jesse Ventura has said some pretty stupid things, in his life. But Jesse Ventura has the right to say them. And that's the thing. And whether you like them or not, I have the right to say stuff people don't like. And I saw a thing the other day where it's not the good stuff that you hear that you have to protect. It's the stuff you don't like you have to protect.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that is important. Otherwise, you have no freedom to say anything. And only what the government will allow you to.
Yeah. And if she wins, that's my biggest fear. If she, our numbers are going through the ceiling the last month or so, and it's got to be that she's going to win, and I'm going to be locked out of Facebook.
I don't know.
We had 20.
I think what happens when you get off social media is that your life gets better. I'm pretty sure that's what happens because I know mine did almost immediately. I started doing stuff and not worrying about other shit, but there's always somewhere else to go.
There is.
And I also know that. So, like, I've had three YouTube channels taken down, over 5,000 videos gone. And you're pissed off at first because it's like, what the this is just stupid. But in the end, there's nothing you can do. It's their freaking site, and they have the power to do that, I guess. And it is what it is. I see a lot of these guys on YouTube now. I watch that. They can't put anything violent on. They can't say certain things. They can't say certain words.
Yeah.
And I find that ridiculous.
I couldn't say COVID-19. Couldn't say COVID-19 without getting a violation from YouTube about giving bad medical advice or, this, that. Yeah. But like I've been saying the last week, I haven't had a YouTube violation in a year and a half. I almost wrote them a letter asking, "Did you guys forget about me?"
Yeah.
I got 32 people.
You watch these true crime things. You watch these true crime things, right? Story of like some murder or something, and some poor woman gets raped. They can't say the word rape. assaulted, or it's just ridiculous. I understand certain words shouldn't be allowed. I get that. The N word, but then I watch. You see some of these videos with these black guys on it, and that's all they're saying.
Yeah.
It's got to be a two-way street, or you got to stop everybody.
Right. Yep.
The theft of our First Amendment rights have been trampled. I agree.
Yep. They have.
I mean, we can't say bomb in an airport. That you get arrested for shit like that. It's ridiculous.
Can't say fire
It's
in
a
a movie
word.
theater. Yep.
I don't even agree with that, and I know why that came about. We all do, because there was an actual fire and whatever. But that's bullshit too.
Yep. And the Aurora movie theater massacre, didn't he come in through a fire exit and yell fire before he started shooting?
I don't remember, but I remember
I know he came in through a fire exit. Whether or not it was left open for him or he managed to get into it somehow, that's how I think. So I think he got in, but
yeah, because I think they're locked on the outside. The only way you can get through it is with a key or to go through the inside to out. But I don't know. Here's the deal. I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Okay. TikTok is ridiculous, and you wouldn't belong. The people flocking to that stupid site. I'm not on TikTok. I don't really mess with them too much. Unless, like, I'm watching Facebook Reels or something. A lot of them are TikTok Reels. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even care if China owns it. It just doesn't matter, because if China ain't going to spy on us, then, Mark Zuckerberg ain't Chinese. He's American. He's spying on us. So it doesn't matter. So, anyway,
he's
Dave, I
regulated.
gotta go.
Yeah, he's regulated by the Chinese over what they see in the Facebook newsfeed in China. They censor him.
Yeah,
they tell him, there are things that he is not allowed to post in the Chinese Facebook newsfeed. Other than some guy in China owns Boogie with the Bull. I've done battle with that person before, but I'm very glad you came. And like I said in the notes, I know I bother you. You do 4 nights a week. Plus, I want to grab you to be over here to do the 2 nights a week that you don't do. And I really appreciate it when you come. I want you to know that.
I don't really do anything at this time of night, so it's not a big deal, really. It's just sometimes if I'm in the middle of something, like I was just trying to. I started at like 5:30 doing all the shit with the computer, and I didn't think it was gonna take that damn long, but it did. So anyway, I'm glad I came on, and I'm glad you invited me. So thanks. Anytime.
All right.
And we'll see you probably tomorrow night. Well, Friday. Right? So Friday night, we'll probably see you tomorrow.
You will see me there.
We'll be on Facebook on the American Rebellion page and Wimpkin for the time being. I mean, I'm not going to go over there there's a couple of people over there, like William was on last night. I really like William. I like Gregory.
I like it.
Paul.
I really
There's a few guys over there that are really, really cool people. But, whatever. What are you going to do, right?
Yep.
So, but we'll be on 7 p.m. Eastern if anybody cares, and we'll see you then. Thank you, Dave.
Don't tell anybody. There's 866 people watching right now.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you. You beat me. All right. Take care, man.
Probably 87 people watching. All right, Jerry. Always a pleasure. Thank you for
coming.
coming.
Have a great night, Dave. See you tomorrow.
You too. All right. Jerry Michaels from the American Rebellion. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Here on Facebook on the American Rebellion blogger page. I believe still in the American Rebellion group. Might be on the Gerard K. Michaels page. Take it, share it, all over. If you like, that's what I tell people. If you like our broadcast when we're on, immediately like them and share them to as many people as you can. We appreciate that. If you take it off of Facebook and share it someplace else, that's fine with me. I just like to know where people do that. If you take it off of Facebook and share it someplace else. If you're going to do that, I actually prefer you go to the YouTube channel and take it off the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and share it. Because if you take it from Facebook and you share it off of Facebook, Facebook gets money, gets a click or whatever, gets the credit for it every time it's run. YouTube does too, but that's what we got the YouTube channel for, to be able to take it and share it. And then what I tell people a lot of times is watch it on the Facebook side every once in a while, and then go over to the YouTube channel and watch it there. The YouTube channel live chat is not as busy because there aren't that many people watching it over on the YouTube channel. But anyway, 27 live shares, 866 live views. Very well. By the time it hits Facebook, my profile as a podcast in about 10 or 15 minutes, we might have broke 1,000 views, which would make me very happy. Because, as I tell people, most of the time, Tuesday, Thursday night, I'm sitting here setting it all up about 6 o'clock, and then I look at my camera and I look at my mic at 6:55 and have no idea what we're going to talk about. But I tell people we talk about politics plus whatever comes out of our mouths. It's not always politics, but it pretty much will stay political most of the time. Yes, I am David Fowler. I'm on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. If you go in and search Boogie with the Bull, it will come up, and we post it live there every time we're on. There is a live chat there when we are live. I think the last time I looked, there were like 32 subscribers. Like I said, when we got it years ago, and the only reason that I got it was so that I would be able to share it from someplace without having to share it from Facebook. Yeah, we are there. And I tell people, like I said, watch it here on Facebook Tuesday. Go over to YouTube and watch it there on Thursday, or flip it around or whatever, or at least just go over there and subscribe to the YouTube channel so that they will think that we're actually trying to make some effort to grow over there. Thank you very much, David. I'd be welcome. CT Tronut. Okay, I got it. I see it. I had trouble reading it for a second there, but yeah, I'm there. Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. I plug it just like I do when we're here. Let's see. Today is Thursday, so we have done the Tuesday night, Thursday night live is done. Tomorrow is Friday, 10 a.m. Friday morning. Bill Muckler and I will be here for Red Friday morning caffeine. Remember, everyone just deployed. We talk about that for a few minutes, and then we go into Bill Muckler's commentary on what's going on for the week. Sometimes I throw a Looney Tunes thing at him just to see what his reaction is. But no, we get Bill's take on what's going on. 89-year-old retired Marine captain, an entrepreneur, a author. Wrote the 2020 books, 2020 A Clear Vision for America, 2020 A Clear Vision for Our Future. Both available on the Bill Muckler profile on Facebook, as well as the soon-to-be New York Times bestseller, 6 Soft Targets, Bill's version of the blueprint for 9/11. Buy that, read that, and there will be at some point a follow-up to 6 Soft Targets called Aftermath. I guess Bill had found a folder full of things that he wanted to include in 6 Soft Targets, but it had already gone to be published. So he decided that there will be a follow-up, a sequel, whatever you want to call it, called Aftermath. I believe it's 2 years from now. He believes it will be out, maybe before. But anyway, I want to thank everybody who watched. David Fowler, David Novar. Let's see, Barbara Ammons was here. God, who else? Randy Rhodes was here. I was here. Jerry was here. And Daryl Rector was here. Robin Brunson was here. And we just appreciate everybody who comes here. Tina, I don't want to butcher Tina's last name, but Tina is the admin of the group Save Our Farms. And I'm in there posting things relative to saving our farms. I have slipped and dropped a few Boogie with the Bulls in there by mistake. As I explained to Barbara, I use my phone when we're live to do all the live chats, and I'm scrolling down a small list, and I occasionally will hit a group that the broadcast does not belong in. If you don't want it in the group, feel free to delete it. If you don't see it in your group and want it in your group, let me know. Normally, we send out anywhere between 25 and 70 live shares when we're going today. I couldn't get more than 87 out. It just wouldn't let me get more than 87 live shares out. Like I said, we'll take one more look at it to see where we are. It says 1,000 views. Awesome. Beautiful. We get 1,000 views on Tuesday and Thursday. That would be 2,000 views a week. Would be 8,000 views a month. Facebook might actually stop bothering me and let us go about doing what we do without bothering anybody. And then, like I said, the next things that we're looking at is we will probably break Wimkin down the road once we have the new laptop that we're waiting on. We'll probably set up on Wimkin as well, and we will probably look at setting up on Rumble. And like Jerry said, I want to go to Truth Social when they're ready for our level of broadcasters. I want to be over there and see what happens. I don't use Truth Social very often, like Jerry said. When I think about it, I go over and I upload the most recent Boogie with the Bull broadcast. I was going over there and uploading it while we were live, but that got to be a little too much of a hassle. So you don't see us over there. But anyway, thank you for the privilege of letting me abuse your time. And let's see, as I said, tomorrow is Red Friday Morning Caffeine with Bill Muckler and I. Then 7 o'clock tomorrow night, come back for the American Rebellion on the American Rebellion blogger page, the American Rebellion group here on Facebook. Over on Wimkin, I believe in the American Rebellion page. And soon to be, I believe, coming back to Rumble, but don't quote me. And then, like I said, we're going to get over to Wimkin and we're going to get over to Rumble. Those are things that I have in the works to want to be able to do. If you take a Boogie with the Bull broadcast and you share it, I prefer you go to the YouTube channel and share it from there. If you're on YouTube, suggest it to your friends that they either watch the podcast over there or watch the live thing over there. Saturday morning, there will be a rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull somewhere between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. I mean, 10 o'clock and 12 noon it'll start. I haven't figured out the exact time. But there will be, and we'll just kick around like we normally do here. We just turn on the mics, turn on the cameras, and talk. And if you don't like the talk that you're hearing, then you're more than welcome to turn your camera on and your mic on and come on and join us. Other than it just being a nuisance, and I apologize to everybody that's watching that I made such a big deal about it. If you come into the live chat and you ask for the link, or you ask one of the other hosts on the broadcast to have me send you a link, or if they can give you the link so that you can come on. If you ask, please come on. Because I tell people, I usually post a broadcast at least once a day on broadcast days that says, hey, if you want to come on, let me know by 6 o'clock at night for the 7 o'clocks, Tuesday and Thursday. Let me know by 6 o'clock at night, and I will confirm you for one of the 10 camera slots. I get one, so that leaves 9. And, you know, you're more than welcome to come on. And if you are, I don't know if you can link Restream I don't know if you can link StreamYard to Restream. I know that if we were still on StreamYard, then if you were a StreamYard broadcaster, you could link your StreamYard to my StreamYard. I don't know if you can link your StreamYard to my Restream. I have to find out up on that. But, sometimes that would be a fun thing to do. But anyway, live well, live prosper, come here and enjoy. And thank everybody for 1,000 views before we signed off. And I think that's, we've only done that once before. Michael Anthony was on one night, and I think we hit 1,300 that night. I forget what we were talking about. But like I said, anybody is welcome to come and join me. Come on the broadcast, come into the live chat. You should go into the live chat on the Dave Globin profile because that's the only one we monitor on Facebook. The live chat on the Dave Globin profile. And then the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, we monitor that live chat too. But come into the Dave Globin profile here on Facebook, into the live chat, and just say you want the link. And as long as there is a camera available, I will send you a link. But thank you to Facebook for letting us hit 1,000 people tonight. Thank you for Restream to making it as easy as they can. We are pushing Restream over StreamYard right now. StreamYard doubled its price from $25 to about $45 a month. In the $45 package, you basically get just about everything you got in the $25 package. Except I think you can get full 10, whatever it is, 1040p HD if you have a camera that will in fact do that. But for $19 a month, you get all of that on Restream as opposed to now $45 a month on StreamYard. You still get 3 cameras here 3 destinations on Restream, like you got 3 destinations on StreamYard. It's just as easy to use. You just have to learn the layout and figure out how to do things. But, you pick the one that works best for you. If StreamYard works best for you, that's the one you use. If you have a Windows PC or laptop or a MacBook, Mac iOS, or Linux computer, you can use OBS. And that's something that we will be looking at in the near future. So live well, live prosper. It's now coming up on 9 o'clock, so it's time for us to say good night, sweethearts. It's time to go. And like I said, tomorrow morning, not 8 o'clock, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern on the Dave Globin profile. Remember, everyone deployed Red Friday Morning Caffeine with Bill Muckler and I. And then tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Boogie with the Bull, guests on the American Rebellion. And on that note, thank you for the privilege of letting me abuse your time. We'll come up here and we'll say goodnight. Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end. You've been watching Boogie with the Bull Thursday night live, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. Doesn't mean anything to anybody, but you